I also implemented a bit more journal writing because I felt that that was a good way for me just to write things down. Because there's only one thing, Sean, that I did nearly go a little bit back on, and you picked up, and that's why I fucking love you. One thing I nearly went back on was the one pattern of mine I've noticed, and this is from journaling. One pattern of mine I've noticed is when things go bad, I tend to hide away a little bit and not talk. And that's just my way of dealing with it. And that's okay relatively, but it's not healthy at the same time. And you picked up straight away on that. And actually it was only you and my missus, only two people. No one else kind of picked up on it. But I think speaking with you straight away at least got me to express some sort of feelings and get some emotion out. And then I just wrote the rest down. I just found that was pretty, therapeutic, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that was going to be my next question, man, was, how do you feel when you're writing things down? How long have you been journaling for first? And, how do you feel when you start writing things down? You did say it's therapeutic, right?
100%. And it's putting the words into action also as well. I mean, I write things down. Before I had all these values in my head and my goals in my head, but I never used to put pen to paper with it. And I think just the visual aspect when you actually, I'm writing stuff down all the time, and I never used to until I met you actually. And I think just looking at the words is something powerful about it. And it's really hard to explain that to someone. The only way I can tell someone is to give it a try. You just got to give it a shot and then you'll understand, But I think looking at them words and then I might, like, for example, I had a look over some stuff I wrote the other day, just today from a few days ago. And it also gave me a bit of a benchmark to see I've actually improved just in the last couple of days, because I was like, shit, some of them things I wrote down were a bit dark. And then not dark, but they were just a little bit dark. And then I had a look at it and I don't feel as dark like that as I did just a couple of days. So it's a good gauge. It shows me that I'm moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And going back to writing things down, I think the powerful thing about this is that's the first action step, right? Like your thoughts are always, I think we have like 60, 70,000 thoughts come into our brain every single day as a human being. So, we can't process all of those things. So for me, like, I'm constantly writing as well, man. Like, I've got my notepad here, jotting down things that you're saying so I can come back to it and touch on. But, I've got my boards right in front of me where I'm writing down like what I do on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I've got my monthly focus. Then I've got my weekly focus. Then I've got my personal goals, my top priority, my errands, my work goals, my top priority, my errands. And then on the other whiteboard, I've got, I've broken up my whiteboard into quadrants, and the top left quadrant is urgent and important, and then the next quadrant is important but not urgent. The bottom quadrant is not important but urgent, and then not urgent, not important, right? And like, that's what I'm doing every single day. I'm jotting things down. I'm doing it at the start of the week, and then I'm going back and I'm reviewing, man, and going, all right, how much of that shit did I get done? How many of those wins did I tick off the list? And I think writing things down takes things from being a thought into becoming action, because that is literally the first action step is, hey, I've got this rattling around in my brain. I'm going to do a little brain dump. I'm going to get it out of my mind. I'm going to put it on paper. That's the first action step, man. And once you take that first action step, it's much easier to then take that second action step. And it's also much easier to start organizing things because you're looking at it and you're like, all right, well, this is, again, tying back into your hierarchy of value. You're looking at everything you've just jotted down, and then you're looking at your values and you're going, where does this fit in? All right, this fits in here, this fits in here, this fits in here, this fits in here. Where can I slot that into my day? Where can I slot that into my week? And something you said before about the meditation is like, yes, you were sleeping in a little bit longer, going to bed a little bit earlier. And you actually said, unfortunately. I was like, man, that's fucking brilliant. That's a great adjustment, right? You're not getting up and doing your training. Your body needs that sleep. Your sleep's probably going to be a little bit broken because your mind's going to be all over the place. And this is where, again, writing things down before bed, do a brain dump, then do some meditation. That's going to bring you back into that parasympathetic state, allow you to get to sleep a little bit better. And then you typically have a better sleep. a little bit longer sleep. When your body's under stress, man, you need that extra recovery, right? Then, you're not going through your full meditative practice, but you're still getting some form of meditation is in, because you know how important it is. That meditation, that focused meditation, where you're focusing on your breath, or you're focusing on your thoughts, or whatever your target is for that meditative practice, is driving attention, which then carries over into everything else that you're doing in your day.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, that's something, a point that I wanted to also bring up as well, which I've done a bit differently. Because usually my meditation, when I do that, I actually like to put some candles out, and I have a nice little have my little cushion that I sit on, and I put some guided meditation music on. That's just how I like to do it. But what I did to adjust things around in the last week is what you sort of do. I was doing it in the car when I was driving, which I'd never really sort of done before, and I can tell 100% how much difference it makes, because I've got a smartwatch. So I looked at my my heart rate, and my goodness, like, I mean, I know this stuff. You've taught me this stuff before, but I just sort of refining that. And I also feel as well, right? Just going back to the writing things down, is I believe that's made a big impact on my anxiety, because I think when I haven't written things down, everything just feels like it's so clustered in my head, and I can't, like you said, I can't start. I don't have a starting point anywhere. So I think, from an anxiety point of view,
It's just a jumble when it's 70,000 thoughts in your fucking head. Like, that's all. It's all jumbled up, man. It's a fucking jigsaw puzzle with
Yep.
pieces all over the place, right?
Yep.
The point of writing things down is to start laying those jigsaw pieces out, and then putting them where they go.
Yep.
And some things you're going to action straight away, and other things you're like, okay, that's not, again, that's important, but it's not urgent. I can put that off for a month, and it's just literally like organizing. It's organizing your thoughts, man. It's taking those thoughts, putting it on paper, and then being able to like slot them in, whether that's, I need to do this today, I need to do this week, I need to do this month, I need to do this by the end of this year.
Yep. Yep.
Which gives you clarity, right? Which then reduces anxiety.
It's amazing the difference it makes, and it's funny because it's just how you. I've joked around with you about this so many times. It's simple, but only once you explain it, it seems simple after that, But before you explain that, and I mean, I look at this now and I'm like, Jesus, I try not to think I've wasted years, because it's built me to who I am today, and that's the way I try to look at it, right? But I do kick myself a little bit, going, Jesus, I wish I had have learnt this shit a long time ago, and it would have saved me a lot of time.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
And this is why I coach the way that I coach, right? It's because I've fucking learnt all these things the hard way myself, right? Or I've picked up on things that all of my clients are going through, man. And that's why I started the podcast, to get this information out to people, to say, hey, you know what? You can like organize your life in a manner that's going to allow you to decrease anxiety, depression, look forward to, putting processes in place on a day-to-day basis that's going to get you living the fucking life that you want, man. And it's not like a magic pill. You don't just start doing one thing and it's like fixes everything, right? Like, how long have we been working together?
Yeah, that's right. That's very true. And I think also as well is, I've noticed a thing as well is how not interchange, I'm trying to think of the word, how much this applies to different aspects. So it applies to my training, and then it also applies to my personal life. And then I can switch these principles around to my work life as well, because that's something that I've noticed massively in the last 2 weeks. Even though I've been going through all this shit, the work's been pretty stressful, but I've had a lot of good shit happen at work. And my boss even pulled me aside and went, mate, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Because I kind of haven't told him what's been going on in my personal life, because I'm trying to keep it a bit separate, if you know what I mean.
Of course.
But the results are coming in work-wise. So it doesn't, I think when I first started with you, it was all revolved around training for me at the very start. That's what I had in my head, not realizing that these principles, they're relatable to all other aspects. So that's what I try to do now, Sean. I try to adapt this the best I can, given the different situations and the different pillars I got going on in my life at the same time.